Hello guys, my name is Albert Gonzalez and welcome to the PEMA Installation and Maintenance Guide. To start, I will show you how to download and install the required programs to successfully run the application. The first step that we must follow is to have an IDE available. My recommendation is to use Visual Studio Code. So if you go to the Google search bar and you type Visual Studio Code, you should be able to access this web page. Now if you click on the download for Windows, you can actually start the process. Or even if you click on the arrow, you can get for macOS and Linux as well. I'm not gonna show the process on how to do it because I already have the program in my machine. Now the next software that we need is Git. Again, if you type Git on the Google search bar, you should be able to access this web page. If you click on Windows, you should be able to download it for Windows. Git is to be able to clone the project from GitHub. Now, the third software that we need is Node.js. Node.js is to be able to use certain libraries within Visual Studio Code. So I recommend using the recommended for most users version. Again, the installation and the download process is very straightforward. And last but not least, we will be using Android Studio to emulate the application. So for this one, when you finish downloading and installing everything, you should be able to access to this panel. Now I'm gonna help you to set it up. If you go to Configure, you should be able to see the SDK Manager. Click on it. Now you should download and install Android 9.0. To be able to do that, you just need to, if you have the empty box, you just need to click on the check mark. You'll be fine, and then click Apply. That will install the library within your computer. Now you also need to do the SDK tools. You need the Android SDK build tools, Android emulator, Android SDK platform tools, Google Play services, and Intel x86 emulator accelerator. To install it, do the same, go and apply all the changes and click OK. I already have it, so that's the reason why I don't have the button highlighted. After that, you click OK and you should be able to go back to the first panel. Now, if you go to AVD Manager, you should be able to create virtual devices. Click on that tab. In here, you can select any device that you want. However, I will recommend using a device that has Play Store functionality. I will use, in this case, the Pixel 3. Click on Next. Now, if you don't have the Pi installed, you should be able to see a download text, such as the one above. You can click on it and it will start the download and installation process. For now, I just will click on the Pi, next, and follow up. In here, you can actually play with the settings, but I would recommend going straightforward. Click on Finish, and that will create your emulator. Now, if you're to be able to launch the emulator, you can click on the Start icon. That will start the AVD. And it will open your emulator for the Pixel 3. Now that you have your emulator open, let's create a file for the project. Go to your File Explorer, choose any disk that you want, and create a new file. I will name my file PEMA. Now let's open Visual Studio Code. So let's open the folder that we created. To disk, PEMA, select folder. Now if we go to the left bottom tab and you click on it, you should be able to see this bar, and if you click in the terminal, you can see that we already have a path to the PEMA folder. Now let's git clone the project. Go to the internet and go to the GitHub master account. You should be able to find all of the links to the software needed and to the GitHub in the documentation provided. Now go to code, click on the link, go to Visual Studio Code, type git clone lowercase Control B, and that should be able to clone the project. Now pay attention, because this could really cause you troubles. Right now, if you go to the file, you should be able to see the project within the file that we created. However, to be able to install all the libraries and dependencies, you have to actually access this file to be able to get the project. So to be able to do that, let's type the command cd and copy the actual name of that file that GitHub created automatically. We put it there, and now you should be able to see another path, the path of the project. So now let's install the dependencies. But before that, let's do something first. So now that you have your project open, you click here in the main app file. We have to actually add a file to be able to connect to the server. If you click on app.js, and you click on new file, and you go to the documentation folder, you should be able to see the step 4 add Firebase config.js file. You need to copy the name, new file, copy the name, digest, and add it, and then get that file and put it within the project. Now if you go to the documentation again, you have to add the API keys from the server. You should copy this and put it within that file that we just created. Save the project, and now let's start installing the dependencies. So the first dependency that we need to install is npm install. Let's run that. So after the npm install is completed, you have to install Expo. To be able to do so, go to the documentation and copy the command npm install expo cli -- global. If you are in a Mac, use the sudo command before the npm install. Copy and paste and press enter. I'm not gonna do it because I already installed it to save us time. After that, you should be able to run the npm start. Which is going to start Expo and open the developer tool in the web browser. Right there. So right now, make sure you have your emulator open. And change your connection to Tono. You can leave it at LAN, but other people outside your network, outside your Wi-Fi, is not gonna be able to access the application. So for example, if you are presenting the application to the product owners, it's better if you have in Tono so they could also access the application while you are presenting it. So right now, run on Android device emulator. You have two options. You can use the barcode and install Expo in your phone, in your own device, or run on Android device emulator. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm gonna use this option. So right now you can see that it's opening on Android device. Expo is opening. The emulator should be faster in your computer because this actually I know desktop. So anyways, I recommend using the barcode over here in your on cell phones. It is faster and you can share it with the rest of your team or the product owners, as I said before. Right there, the application is loading. That's the splash screen. It's building the JavaScript bundle. So after the bundle is completed, you should be able to access the application. Now, the last part that I wanted to show you guys is the Firebase. So to be able to access the server, you have to log into the PEM app account. The credentials are in the final documentation. So if you go to console made up and into database and real-time database, you should be able to see all of the data that we are storing in the server. For example, the categories, the messages, the online users, the user CMEs, user account, and users. Also, if you go to the authentication, you can see the users with the emails and what kind of provider it is, if that person sign up with a Google account or with a regular email. That will be everything from my end. Thank you everyone for watching, and